Hello and welcome back to today's episode. Today's episode is about a topic called Holiness is Extremely Dangerous. And this topic stems from experiences from Christian communities I had majorly and also people I knew and told me stories about. But also from the current story unfolding in Israel, where a lot of holiness is preached. And holiness is one hell of a devil. And that seems like a contradiction somehow. But I will tell you now why holiness is really, really, really dangerous. So stay tuned. Now, why is holiness so dangerous? Because there's this good old saying, where holiness is preached, hell waits. And this is very true. Why? You see, there are no holy people. Holiness in people per se does not exist. I will come to the end of the circle later. It does exist in a way, but not in the way that most people think it does. And the difference is that a human is like a pie, like a round pie. Every human is like that. And every pie has different pieces of ingredients, different parts. And all humans have these parts. Some bigger, it's different balance, different flavors, I would call it. But we all have it. And some people think that they just have this one piece of it, which is the holiness, and they don't have the dark side. And that is the big mistake why holy people are so dangerous. So every time a person comes around, for example, and it's just very nice always, and I'm just such a good person, it scares the shit out of me. Sorry. But yeah, it does. Because a good person who denies their darkness, you never know when they're gonna backstab you or someone else. You never know. A person, I'm really relaxed around people who come and like, I can be a real bad, bad guy or bad woman. Like, I just recent case where someone told me that. And I'm like totally relaxed if a person tells me that. Because I'm like, at least this person knows what's up. At least they, won't come out of a surprise because they can't take it anymore and all of a sudden flip and gonna come with a knife at you in a moment where you don't expect it. Like virtually described, but if these people flip, they do crazy things all of a sudden. So if you have a place where they try to preach holiness and try to just cultivate holiness and goodness, they forget that there's a second part of themselves, which is the darkness, which is the anger and all of these things. And they all make sense. They are a part of you. They were given to you in purpose. Anger helps you in critical situations to go through and survive, to give you power, to defend your child. And to deny these things and not cultivate and understand when to use them and not to teach that these things are fine in the right moment, that is the mistake. That is where everything goes wrong. And that is also why it's then rampant and uncultivated when it comes out. And people do a lot of damage then. But also the shaming. That the interesting part is, if you're not a holy person in these communities, because you need to be holy in that, and you always need to just have good thoughts and all of that, and they can't relax about having naughty thoughts, which is fine, as long as you don't follow them and act on them. But you can't deny that you have naughty thoughts. We're humans. It's completely fine having them. And it is just seen so negative and shamed. And by shaming and negativity, they don't pull down divine energy. In their attempt to just pull down divine energy, they actually pull up hellish energy. Because they punish. Because they deny parts of life. They can't embrace it in totality. And the divine has given us hardship and difficulties in order to get better, in order to get stronger and wiser and more intelligent. And if these people come around and deny these parts, they deny the holiness in a lot of things which don't seem holy, because you need to find holiness in also these things. So that is a big part of it. Now, a big important piece is also within this cake So let's go more in this cake. So we all have this dark piece, which also, it has many sides, including a psychopathic or an evil side. Otherwise, the Nazis would never have made it, as Jordan Peterson nicely pointed out once. Because people always think they're good people, and that is when they go along with really cruel things, like Nazis. What they did to the Jews was horrible. I mean, those were the worst atrocities you could have ever imagined, to industrialize human killing. It's incredible. But also at the moment, what happens, if I look at Israel, for example, that there is a sentiment in more extremist parts of the Israelis that it's holy what they do. They think it's holy to dehumanize your enemies or neighbors. And it's very, very obviously written, though, in the books there, that this is not true. I mean, it's written explicitly in the Torah, for example, that you should take care of your neighbor, to be a good neighbor. And if you then start fighting all the time, if you can't, make peace in 70 years with your neighbor, maybe something's wrong with how you do things. And to believe that you're right and holy in all of the atrocities you do to other people, that is just horrible. I don't say the other side never does anything either, but there needs to be also de-escalation, not just escalation all the time. So that is that part. So if you deny parts of your darkness and you believe you're on a holy path, in that sense, that you're entitled to something, it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. It's really, really dangerous. So the second part is the selfish part. Holy people, they always try to be, I'm not selfish, don't be selfish, always do something for others. Not gonna go well. And this is one of the pieces also where they lose it. Why is selfishness important? I mean, imagine you're a parent, or you want to become a parent, and you're not selfish, and you don't take care of yourself as a man or a woman, and you get sick. You can't take care of your child anymore. You need to be selfish. It's important. If you're not in good shape, anything around you will suffer, in any case. So the first priority you should have in your life is to get things together and become more selfish. To get into a really good position. Once you're in a good position, you can start helping other people around you. That is, I would even say it's your obligation. Because your life cannot get better if everyone around you suffers, but you do good. So that is the lesson. But you need to be selfish first. And that is just much, much more helpful in that sense. That also, you could say, the better you get, the more selfish you are, the more everyone benefits from you around you, because you can help them. If you see something your neighbors need, you can just buy it because you have maybe the money. But it's not just about that. It's also then showing the effort, but you get it. Being selfish is good. Becoming strong is really important and good, especially when you want to create a family. And then you have the power, the extra 30, 40% or whatever, to help others around you. But it's just really, really important to be selfish, to be strong. For example, recently we climbed up a mountain here on Tenerife, which is 3.7 kilometers. It's fine. It's a good hike, but not that much still compared to what's out there. And in the end, we came down, and the people who were with me, they were just exhausted, very exhausted. They could have made it to the car, which was still more than a kilometer away, but I was strong. I was fit. I just ran to the car and simply got it in a few minutes. That is why it's important to be strong, because everyone benefits from it around you. But don't overdo it too much. Also, be a bit mindful. Even drinking water can kill you. So some people, they think always, then just being selfish is good. Nah. Be mindful. Everything in extreme, almost everything crumbles. There's no paradigm like that. So the problem is that holy people, they ignore that they are human. They completely ignore that they are human. That none of us is in its essence basically special. That we all come with the same pieces and corners. Okay? And they cultivate only the light They don't acknowledge the darkness within. They don't face it or learn from it or deal with it. And basically they just study half the cake, as I would call it. Yeah. And at some point, I will always tell you the bad comes up, which they suppress. They will start with guilt shaming, with anger, because they can't keep it in. They can't deal with it. They can't, if they get pressurized, they can't deal with that either. And life is not nice. In society, everything is pretty comfortable. But if you ever go out in the wild and you're hungry and you need to get stuff done, to get food or water or warmth, that is a different deal. You're under a lot more pressure there. And that is more how life to the outside really is. Let's be honest. Okay? And you need to be able to deal with it. And that's completely fine once you learn that. But you can't just always believe that it's nice and cuddly out there. And you need to study then yourself in these situations. Because everyone's nice when everything's fine. But when the whole world starts falling apart, you will see which person is who. How far they really came. If they're really gonna turn into Nazis, or whether they contain composure and help others, and make sure that everyone's fine together, and that you get together as a community. That is really, really, really crucial, especially in tough times like current. I think that the best about current tough times is that people stick more together, from my experience around me. That's the only way to survive in tough times. So one quote, very famous, is also, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." And I witnessed it a lot because one person once came to me where a really ugly situation was unfolding and said, "Yeah, but that person just wanted the best for the other person." And I said, Hitler just wanted the best for Germany too. Like, wanting the best is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Doesn't mean that you not desire that a person has a better life or things like these. But if you push your intentions on others, it can be really dangerous. Really dangerous. So really be mindful with, I'm just such a good person. I just want to make it better. Yeah. And one thing I would definitely recommend everyone is face your darkness. Relax more about it. Don't be too mad about it. Don't try to fight it. Find ways to channel it. Find ways to self-control, especially as a man, because you have more muscle power. And if you flip out, things break easier. Do martial arts, do different things, go running, go swimming, whatever helps you get that energy out a bit. Go in these moments and learn to become a better and more complete human, and learn when to yield these different pieces which sometimes seem dark or sinister or bad. And why is it also really, really, really crucial? Because if you don't cultivate these sides, you're also extremely weak to social predators, or predators generally. Because if you're always nice and good, that is when the predators come and they will eat you, because they know you won't bite them. They know they can play games with you. They will play victim and you will come, I just want to help you, But if you have a bit of sense like, this guy is not straight, like there's something going on with this guy, I know he's up to something. And just by having that aura a bit, the skepticism, these people get extremely nervous because they're obviously afraid. And then, they are better kept in check. So don't just try to be a good person. It causes you a lot of trouble. Try to be more than that. So I wish you all the best. This was a little topic about, goodness is not the whole deal of the pie, basically. And see you soon.